Most people don't fear failure. They fear what it costs. Reputation, pride, ego, the version of themselves they're trying to protect. And I only speak to things I've experienced myself. So when I say failure is a privilege, I've lived it. Failure means you're in the arena, allowing things to move. And the thing that finally shifted for me, not talent, not a new trick, just respecting the boring parts. Failing, adjusting, trying again, over and over until one boring little step you never thought would matter finally gets the chance to breathe. And it sets the whole thing in motion. For me today, that boring part starts with stretching the canvas, which is hilarious because I've only done this once before in my life. My grade 12 art class teacher, Mr. Oldfield, if you're out there, thank you. Because here's the thing, this is the kind of step that feels too simple to matter. It's not glamorous, it doesn't look like talent. No one claps for a well-stretched canvas. But if the foundation is off, everything you do on top of it fights you. And that's what I've learned the hard way. I've spent years chasing a certain look in my work, trying to force it through smarter techniques, different materials, different approaches. And I'd get close, but it always felt like the painting was resisting me, like I couldn't fully become what I was reaching for. And this is where the real lesson shows up, because water is the one thing that will humble you fast. You can't boss it around, you can't micromanage it. The second you try, it either muddles or fights back, or it dries in a way that proves you were never in charge. And I think we all know that instinctively. We've all tried to control the water in our lives, to make timing behave, to make outcomes behave, to force a season to stay open longer than it wants to. For a long time, that's what I was doing in my work too, trying to force the look, force the feeling, force the result. Not because I didn't have skill, but because I was scared that if I let go, nothing would happen. But this base only works when I stop gripping it. When I let the pigment bloom and move and do what it does, when I cooperate with the water instead of wrestling it. And honestly, that's what letting go is most of the time. Not giving up, just finally seeing the beauty of what's already here and allowing it to be what it is, as it is. And a whole lot of failure. I am in our truck. We call it the Big Rolling Turd, mostly because that's what it feels like when you're driving it. I'm at the beach. I like this spot because the truck can park right next to the beach and it keeps my eye on all of my filming equipment in the car. It also means that if it gets really cold and I want to come and paint some really tedious details that I need to get really exact, I don't have to be out in the frigid weather and have my hands shaking while I'm doing it. I can kind of pop into the truck and get those details done. I have the painting that I started in this video. It dried overnight, which I am really pleased about. I honestly, I feel like I'm right on the cusp of a creative breakthrough, and nobody talks about this part right before where you have all the failures leading up to something that finally works. And I feel like I'm finally right there. Fingers crossed, because you never really know. It could go completely sideways and I could be repainting this thing in a matter of hours. Another thing I haven't shared before is just how much work it takes to film and paint on location. As one person, I only have two hands, and that's why I'm actually super grateful that I started this piece in my studio, because it gets me one step in the right direction without the pressure of having a really watery base out here when I'm trying new techniques and trying to achieve a new outcome. So we will see how this goes. I'm gonna go find a spot to set up. It's not the best weather, but it's not the worst. And on the Pacific Northwest, I think that's all you could really hope for.
You tell me you're scared. You tell me you're weak. But I know you're stronger.
This is the part that looks simple from the outside, but it's where everything gets decided. I'm not just trying to set up a painting, I'm trying to set down the part of me that wants to control everything. It always happens at the truck. for some reason or another, because when it feels uncertain, as it does when you don't have a plan, I don't usually grip less, I grip harder.
Wherever you're going, I'm going to. I'll follow you through the black and the blue. Whatever the mountain, we'll climb to the next. Honey, I'm with you through life and to death.
Water has been such a brutal teacher for that. The second I try to force it, it gets dull and muddy and heavy. But when I let it move first, it finds its own shape. That's what I'm practicing right here. Start with the feeling. Let it be underneath. Let the base do what it needs to do before I ask it to become anything. And in the base, I start to find the brushstrokes of a wave. This is what failure keeps teaching me. Not try harder, not prove yourself. More like stop forcing the outcome and start cooperating with what's real. Because when you let go, you don't lose direction, you gain it.
I'll still be here. We'll fix these mistakes.
The form shows up, the wave appears, and then you can guide it on purpose. That's what I needed this week. To remember, I don't have to control the water to create something beautiful. And if you're in a season where nothing feels clear yet, let it be messy first. The shape will come. I promise.
Whatever the mountain, we'll climb to the next. Honey, I'm with you through life and to death. Honey, I'm with you through life and to death.
I had to come back to the truck for a minute. I can't feel my fingers. I've got my paint palette on the dash. The painting's in here with me. I'm probably going to paint in here for a little bit. It is so cold today. It's a beautiful day, but it is absolutely freezing. I'm gonna turn this heat down for a second so you can hear me. I was in my own little world just painting out there, and this lady kind of snuck up behind me with her cute little dog. Said like, "Well, aren't you cool?" It was probably the nicest compliment because the 12-year-old nerd in me just like completely lit up inside. Yeah, it is pretty cool to be able to go to a beach and paint and love what you do. It's never lost on me. But here's your reminder that you can go and do these kinds of things too. Whatever it is that you love to do, just go to a beach and do it, and it will help add to the inspiration. That's for sure. I'm gonna paint in here a little bit, warm up my fingers, and then finish it off outside probably. So my studio today is a beater truck, a dashboard palette, and absolutely zero visual aesthetic. But it works, and honestly that's the point. It also just started hailing, so seems I made the good call of coming inside when I did. And once you drop the pressure of perfection, everything gets easier to see. Not because it's suddenly effortless, but because you're finally allowed to experiment. This is what failure looks like in real time. Layer, adjust, soften, ruin a little, fix it, keep going. And slowly the thing you've been chasing stops feeling forced. The details start finding their place. The wave becomes a wave. And that's the privileged part. Not that you never fail, but that you get to be here long enough to learn. To try again, to build the boring parts into something that finally moves. And if you're starting to feel like art is a metaphor for life, welcome to the club. I learn lessons within every single piece. And it is my goal here on this channel to allow you inside of my messy brain while I figure it out. Turns out I was trying to build the outcome without respecting the base. And maybe this is how it works in life too. We keep hunting for a breakthrough, a sign, a moment that it all clicks. And half the time, it's not a big, dramatic move. It's a boring, humble correction that finally gives everything else room to work. And once it's stretched, once it's solid, now I can actually paint the way I've been trying to paint. Not just to make something pretty, but to make something that holds a feeling.
The weather has shifted a few times on me today. We've had sun and hail and rain and everything in between, but this painting is done. The wind is picking up. I am so excited. This painting has been so fun to create. I have wanted to achieve these effects for years now. There were so many sacrificial canvases that really just got thrown out because they didn't do what I was trying to get them to do. The way that I was able to work with and play with water in new ways was founded on many, many hurdles and failures. So let this be your reminder that not everything comes easy. Sometimes it takes practice. Sometimes it takes, in my case, quite honestly, being on here to be able to have my voice, especially through YouTube, be amplified and just be able to find the confidence within myself to say the quiet parts out loud about very regular human experiences that we all have. It feels so good. I broke the truck. The seat is permanently reclined now, so I should probably go back to the house and try and fix that. When I said we call it the big rolling turd, it kind of is. I don't think I can drive this like this. Oh well, we'll get it home, assess when we get there. I think I got it to work. It sounds like a ticking bomb, but it is going up 1/16 of an inch at a time. I might be here for 20 minutes, but it's working. Come on up, bud. Join the party in the front. No, my grandma always said, if nothing else, always have a sense of humor.
And if I may be so bold to add, a healthy dose of failure.